back to my YouTube channel. My name is Happiness Annie, and on today's episode we're going to be talking about empowerment, women empowerment, empowerment for men, anybody who would like to have some extra cash. I'll be teaching you how to make perfumes, how to make air fresheners, and how to make liquid wash that you could use in your homes. You could also sell. You could turn into a business, that can enable you become extra successful. Because for me, I know that we're all successful people on this channel. Okay, so if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Tell me if you can hear me loud and clear. You know how it is with Instagram. Instagram is different from Facebook, is different from YouTube. So I like for you guys to tell me if there are things that you want for me to do differently. Okay, so if you're ready, let's jump right into it. So for making soap, we have 3 key ingredients to make soap, right? And sorry, pardon my being here and there. I'm in Nigeria, and I have a lot of my sisters trying to put this together, so it's okay. So I'm trying to also see. Okay, so for this we need Texapon. We need Texapon, 1 kg of Texapon. Texapon is fats, so it's not something what we're using to produce this soap is not harmful in any way, right? So this is Texapon, 1 kg Texapon, 1/4 kg, that's 250 grams of SLS. These are things that you could get in the shops where they sell. Here in Abuja, you can get them in Utako, you can get them in the Abuja Mom's office, in Lifecam, right? We also sell that, right? Yes, my sister is saying, click on the like button. That's true. Clicking on the like button helps me a lot, right? It just makes it so that the YouTube can show this video to a lot more people, right? So please, I appreciate that. Okay, and then again, so that's SLS, Texapon, and then you need 800 grams of salt, the regular salt that you use in your kitchen. It's a different. I don't know what's going on with the network. I just hope that we don't get to delete the video. And measuring cup. Today, you're going to see my sister Angela assisting me. Thank you. So we're making 20 liters of soap. Oops. So, can you see this? Or I need to. Maybe I'll need to stand. Is this okay? So 1 liter water, 2 liters, and I'm trying to see if I should stand. Right? So when you say 800 grams of salt, you could, if you have your measuring scale at home, that's fine. If you want to do it as a proper business, you could also get your measurements, right, when you use your scale. However, we're going to eyeball it. Reason why I sometimes want to eyeball stuff is so that no woman is giving any excuse to say, oh, I don't have a scale, so I'm not going to start business now. I'm going to start the business much later when I have money to buy scale. This is 500 grams. You already know that is 500 grams, right? So if I'm looking for 800 grams, I simply just put a 500 grams in it, and then I eyeball it, and figure that if this is if this is another 500, that means 300 is going to be somewhere here, right? So I open this. And I begin to pour. If you have your measuring scale, that's fine, 800. But if you don't have, that's also fine. Let me see if this works. I think I'm out of frame. Am I out of frame? Okay. So I stir with my hands. You see that I'm doing this with my hands and nothing happens because it's just salt and water. That's the mixture. I hope that my mic. Can you still hear me? Just say yes. Steve, we're making soap. That's what we're making, right? Soap that you could use at home. Liquid wash. If you're not Nigerian, it's what you would call liquid wash. That's what we're making. So you stir the. Okay. So we're back again. The network has allowed us to come back. So I was saying that this SLS is the same thing. You know that we need a 1/4 kg of SLS. So it's the same thing that I had soaked earlier on, just so that it's a little easier for me. So I stirred, remember the water solution that we had? I put the 1/4 kg that I soaked in water into the salt solution. I mix until I have something that looks like this. And then again, I go in. I think Angela would help me now. We go in with our 1 kg SLS. 1 kg Texapon, I beg your pardon. Again, remember that I'm stirring with my hands. Because there's nothing that is harmful here, as against the one that people do in Nigeria that we know about, that would always have different chemicals that are harmful to the skin. You know, this one is just salt, SLS, and Texapon, which is fat, like I already mentioned earlier. So we call it the 3 key ingredients soap, because with this solution that you have, you could very well just pour in water and you have your soap. However, if you're planning to sell it, you know, I would sell using something that's a fragrance that would make people appreciate the soap. Most times I like to use lemon, 10 ml of perfume oil. This is fragrance oil, so 10 ml. Again, like I said, I like to eyeball stuff when I teach people, just so that no woman is saying I don't have it, that's why I'm not using it. And then again, when you get to the people who sell soap making products, you can just ask them for fragrance oil and also ask them for color. So this color is something that is optional. You could use, or if you decide not to use it, that's fine. But I like to also make my soap a little colorful. So I'm just going to add a little color to the water solution that I have here. Remember, the 2 things that I've just put in are optional. So it is color and fragrance, okay? It's like the internet has stopped us again. Okay. Aisha Al Hassan, good to have you here to learn. Thank you. Okay, so with what we have here, right, I would pour in the remaining 18 liters of water to make it 20 liters. Again, I like to eyeball, so we already know the measurement because we've done this for a number of times. You could use your cup to measure. So when you are done, this is what you find. Is that on the screen? Is this on the screen? Okay. So this is what you find when you're done making this. And then you have to cover this for 8 hours. So what I like to do is to do it at night before bed. Before bed, and when you do that, sorry. After 8 hours, depending on the color, this is a different color that you're going to see, right? But this is what you will find. After 8 hours, it would have already settled and it will turn to this. We're going to check the potency of the soap in a bit, but I also wanted to show you this. Remove this person's let me open. Okay, so if you have a bottle like this, I'm talking the business aspect now, and you decide that you want to sell and you want to rebottle. The thing is, I do not like to go with the regular green color. Reason being that that's what a lot of people make. Usually, when I was producing and selling, my soap was yellow in color, right? So I'm just going to add up to this so that you see what it will look like if you're producing to sell. Of course, I'm sure that you already know what it means to allow your bottle to breathe. You could do, of course, you know that before I started this, my hands were washed, just so that you produce stuff that is, where's the cover, please? Okay, so imagine that this is what you have. I think, and you seeing your own is, this takes me back. Okay, so this is what you find if you're bottling to sell. You make sure that you get a bottle that looks fine, something that is not the regular, just so that people want to, uniqueness makes it a lot easier to be able to understand a brand and then be able to patronize that brand. So if this is what you want to do, make sure that you go and find a bottle that is not the regular. Some people produce soap and then they put it in used up bottles, like the water bottles that people drank and maybe trashed. Some people will go pick it up. I just don't feel that that's a way to go when you're doing a business, right? So I wish that I had my own products, my own soap bottle when I was selling soap, because I was selling soap, hand wash, air fresheners, and body splash at the same time, right? So this is one of the classes we're having today, which is the soap production and how you're able to package it just so that people are buying from you and you're different from every other person. This is a beautiful bottle, right? It's from a company, but I'm sure that you can find something that is like brand and then trying to just be exactly what the brand is doing. Some people want to copy and then change the name by maybe removing a letter and putting another letter, you know, but that's not right. If when I was producing soap, the name of my soap, my name is Happiness. So the name of my soap was Happy's Liquid Wash. It's my name. I didn't follow anybody and say, you know, there's Mama Lemon and then I say Mama Melon. If you get what I mean. Or what's that other popular one? Morning Fresh and then I say Afternoon Fresh. You understand what I'm saying? You have a name. You have something that you love. So always brand yourself such that it is clear that this person is not trying to copy. I don't want to delve into talks about copycats. Those ones who know me already know that it's something that gets me riled up, so let's not go there, right? So this is it when it comes to soap making. I'm going to now test we're going to try to see the potency, if this is something that works. So I'll just wash my hand. Remember my hand from making the soap. See this? Is this water? You can see that it's just clear water that is in here, nothing, right? So I'm going to be washing my hands just to show you whether it lathers or not, right? So you know if it's something that you want to do. If you're not selling the soap, at least produce so that you're using it at home, you know, and reducing the expenses, taking out the expense. You're living in Nigeria where these things are not as, you know, as difficult to get. So if you're not selling soap, produce soap that you can use at home. You see that much quantity of water, right? You see how it's lathering. Do you understand? Remember that it was just my hands that I washed, okay? And it's lathering like this. So it is something that we use in my house to make. Thank you. If I can get a towel, that would be nice too. Thank you. So it's something that we use at home. We use this to, thank you. Thank you so much. We use this to wash. We use it even in our washing machine. We use it to wash our cars. We use it to scrub the floor. We use it to wash dishes. So that's why when I was selling, we call it multi-purpose liquid soap. Multi-purpose liquid wash, because it's something that we use for everything. And then it didn't change the color of our car or change the color of our plates, or it wasn't harmful in any way, right? So we've done that for over 15 years, right? So it's not something that I started doing today. I've been producing like this for over 15 years. Everybody who lives in my house knows how to produce soap. I don't need to buy soap. I don't need to, you know, if I'm looking for funds for something else, it has nothing to do with soap at all, because it's cheaper. When to produce this, you will spend it used to be 2,500, but of course, everybody knows how Nigeria is right now. So now, to get this product to produce 20 liters of soap, you're going to be spending about 5,600. So when you try to calculate using 5,600 or 5,700, I think that's the cost right now, right? Yeah. So when you compare using 5,700 to produce 20 liters of soap as against buying 500 ml of soap for the amount that you buy it right now, you would know whether this is something worth your while or not. I'm going to be needing water, clear water, so that we could do the air freshener, right? So thank you. So that's that about soap making. And then when it comes to your labeling, just of course go to, if you're in Abuja, go to UTC, meet those guys that can do this. I hope that you're able to see. you know, and then they give you something with your with something fine. If it's not fine, people will not buy because a lot of people are also producing. You understand? So you need to have something that is fine so that people can buy from you. Okay? All right. So to make air freshener, when you do, uh, sorry guys, I'm looking for catalysts. In a little bottle, it looks like oil. Yes, thank you. So to make air freshener, if you go to our page, when I was making perfume oils and stuff, H Honey Perfumes, that's what it's called, H Honey Perfumes, you'll be able to see the air fresheners that we did for weddings, for birthdays. It's something that you can sell. And then again, you can also have people who are getting, who would continue to get married. People will continue to celebrate. It doesn't matter what is going on in the country. People must celebrate. That's why there was a wedding yesterday, Saturday. There was a wedding on Friday, last Friday. There'll still be 50 weddings happening next Saturday. It's something that would continue to go on. So if you're looking for another side hustle and you decide that what you want to do is to learn how to make air fresheners, then can people still hear me? Because I see that that's booting. Okay, so if you are looking for a side hustle, you could also do souvenirs as a part-time business, right? You produce these things, you sell to your friends in church, you sell to your family, you sell to your neighbors. You can also sell when people are getting married, you want, or having maybe like a birthday party or something. You could also toe that line and do a little bit of business, right? So I'm just going to be making a liter, 1 liter, just 1 liter, right? Just so that I don't waste perfume oils. First, I would like to talk about, they call it catalyst. They call it polysorbate 80, right? It is a binder. When they tell you catalyst, it's like, you know that when I put oil and water together, naturally everybody knows that the water and oil would not mix, right? It will be separated. So a catalyst or a binder, it's that chemical that brings the oil and water to become one unit, meaning that am I still okay? Meaning that you're not selling something that separates, right? That's why. And when you use that binder, most times when you mix up oil and water with a catalyst, with a binder, it turns to white, turns to a color that is not very appealing to the eye. That's why most times when you see air fresheners, you see air fresheners in bottles that are like this. They call it opaque bottles, you know, bottles that are not clear. Okay, when I'm going to be making body splash, I'm going to be using this bottle. So I just wanted to, you know, so you see the clearness. This is a clear bottle, and then this is an opaque bottle, a white bottle, but you don't get to see what is inside. The product that is in this is not something that is very visible. Reason being that it's not, when we produce, you get to see that it comes out very whitish, or it comes out in, you know, a color that is not as, right? So we use these kinds of bottle. Some people would also when you're buying, for me it is important to look for something that is fine. Some people would use, there's this air freshener um, spray that people use that is not as fine, and then it's everywhere. See the way I'm sweating. Is there any question for the soap making? Help me check if there are questions. And then where did that go? There's a question. Okay. Okay. So is there any need to wear hand glove when making the soap? I do react to any little harsh substance. Okay, so that's why I said I've made, if I've not made that soap, I've made at least 500,000 liters. Let me not lie, because there was a time when that was majorly what gave us food as a family, right? So I was producing back to back. I was producing batches, and then I don't think that my hands are bad. Is it? Right? So I said that there are people, when they are making soap, please know that this method of mine is different from the ones that people make or and carry around. It is very different. I know that there are people who make soap and they use 11 products. They put formalin, put this one, put that one. They put a lot of things. I don't know those things because I don't use them, right? So that was why I checked the potency of the soap, whether it was something that would lather, because I know that when I was in the business of making soap, some people will say, no, if you don't put, there's one chemical that they say if you don't put, it will never lather, right? And I did not agree to that. Reason being that I was producing what I was using at home. And of course, if they say this thing is harsh to your skin, don't use your bare hands. They say it comes out very hot when they are producing, so you cannot produce. So in my head, I'm like, if it's something that I cannot touch, I don't want to produce and then use it to wash the plates that I would use to feed my children. You understand? So that was it for me. I did not bother about that other method. This was what I was producing and this was what I was selling. And it's not harmful. Again, it is salt that you eat. It is fat that is the Texapon is fat, and SLS is also, some people use SLS as the foaming agent for toothpaste. That's to tell you that it's not harmful. Another question. It says, thank you very much, Mr. Patrick. Thank you, Larry. Yes, I made a lot of money from soap making. I used to think liquid soap needed like 100 ingredients. No, it doesn't. It's simple. I missed the soap making, but I'll get back to it later. Okay, that's fine. Nothing is wrong with your hands, Mama. They are beautiful. Thank you so much. The network was bad when we were talking about the mixing process. Oh, wow. Mama, can I add glycerin to the liquid soap? Okay, so I'll tell you something. When we were doing hand wash, because in the factory then, because we used to have a perfume factory where we were doing this soap and also doing hand wash, right? So I used to add a bit of glycerin. Reason being that, of course, for you to ask that, I'm sure that you know that glycerin is for moisture, right? So I used to add that to our hand wash. But for just regular soap, multi-purpose soap to wash your clothes, you know, because you're using it to wash clothes, you're using it to scrub the house, you're using it, there's no point adding glycerin. You understand? But if what you're producing, say for instance, you're producing this soap for a wedding or a birthday, and then what you're producing for them is hand wash, you're tagging it hand wash, right? You could add a bit of glycerin. And when you're adding glycerin, of course, don't just go pouring 1 liter of glycerin. You could add even 100 ml of glycerin is fine when you're producing 20 liters, just so that it does not affect the potency of the other products, if you get what I mean. Then again, you could also add some oils. I used to, for hand wash, at that time, I used to add tea tree oil. Um, that's what I'm teaching today. Okay, so don't add glycerin to this one that I have showed you. Okay, if that makes sense, right? Can we move on to the air freshener, if that's okay? Again, the air freshener, everything that I do, right? I like to simplify. That's what I do. People are different. Everybody have their own method of doing stuff. I wish you could ask my mother, you know, when I make rice, very recently, jollof rice, my mom is always like, why this fast? Do you understand? I don't believe in some of the things that people believe in. I don't believe that, if I get to, oh, sorry, Angela, you're also sweating like me. So if I know that taking this route is going to get me to my destination faster, I'm going to do that. Do you understand? So that's why some of the things that you see me, some of the processes that I do are simplified. Even with my air freshener that I was selling, it's not like I didn't sell. I was selling very well. We were using it in my house. I don't produce it anymore because, of course, the man and the children are no longer in Nigeria, right? But that was a constant thing that we used in the house, okay? So it's going to appear very simple, but it works. So just like the soap making, if I wasn't teaching, I make soap in less than 5 minutes because it's just 800. For the person who said she didn't get the process, I think maybe I could just say it again. I hope that it was just you, and because of network, I just hope that other people saw the process. But it's just 800 grams of salt, 1 kg SLS, and quarter kg, 1 kg Texapon and quarter kg SLS. That's it. And the mixture, I hope that somebody can type it down so that you would run with it. Okay, so like I said, perfume oils, you could just get a different mixture of perfume oils depending on what you like, right? Some people some people like for their homes to smell breezy or fruity or whichever thing that tickles your fancy, right? You could just mix your perfume oils, and it's an art. It's an art. That's the truth. Mixing oil is not something that you just jump and you say you are a professional, right? I first and foremost, I studied how to make perfume here in Nigeria over, I can't remember how many years ago. It's been over a decade. And then for every country that I get to, I try to find out how to simplify the things that I learned, right? So I tried speaking to a perfumer in Dubai, in South Africa. I went for courses in all of these countries. In America, I also tried to train. Do you understand? And if I see that what this person is doing and what this person is doing and what this person is doing sounds like, I could do this and do it shorter and arrive at the same result or even a better result, I would simplify. So whatever you see me teach are things that I've learned over the years. Don't just jump at it and say, okay, now I want to open up a perfume factory. No, that's not how it works. You have to know that, when you become big, of course, there's NAFDAC, there are other things, there's SON, there are procedures that you would have to take if you want to, go big in the business. And then again, to mix perfumes, you would also have to have the nose. There are people who do not have, if you don't know how to, there are different notes to perfumes. There's the top notes, the middle notes, and the end notes. So you have to understand the notes in perfumes before you're able to mix and get something that smells fine. Because some people would say, okay, I like fruity scents, so because I like fruity scents, I will go and bring tangerine oil and mango oil and just mix it, and then your house is smelling like where they are roasting. I don't know why. What I want to say is not going to sound nice, so let me not say it. Your house is now going to be smelling very weird. That's not going to be air freshener. It's going to be air deadener. Okay, so this is not Facebook. There are other people. Is YouTube. Okay, so my point is, when you're making air freshener, or when you're making perfumes, or you're making mist, Americans will call it body mists. We're going to get to all of this, right? And the reason why it's called body mist, we call it body splash here in Nigeria. So when you're making any of those things, please be sure that you understand scents, you understand the mixture of scents, and don't do something that would make anybody want to throw up. Okay, so to make 1 liter, remember that I'm making just 1 liter. This is 1,500 ml. That's what this cup is. So when we say we're making 1 liter, oh wow, thank God we pour the water directly, because oh wow. Well, so we're going to make 1 liter of this so that I don't waste perfume oils. Not like it's going to be waste, but we don't have plenty of this bottle to pack them, right? So I'm just going to produce 1 liter of air freshener. And to produce 1 liter of air freshener, what I'm going to be needing is 1/4 liter, that's 250 ml of perfume oil, right? 250 ml of perfume oil. Then 50 ml of polysorbate 80, that's the catalyst that we're using. And then we fill up the cup with water, plain old water. Okay, so what I like to do when I was producing is, I like to use, can I get an empty bottle please? I like to use an empty bottle to mix my product so that I can shake very well before I add water. Maybe I'm just going to use this cup. Is not. Please let her wash. Okay, so I'm trying to get 250 ml of perfume oil. If I like, I can mix and match oils. You know that this perfume oil, will put it in different bottles. These are not the people that produce the oil. Just so you know, this is a water bottle. You see, that's a water bottle that we produce. So we'll just put the perfume oil. These are perfume oils that you could get anywhere, you know, that they sell soap making chemical, or you know, things like that. Anywhere that they sell perfume oil. So I want 250 ml of oil. If I like, I can mix and match, right? But I need to be sure that the scents that I'm mixing are scents that can go together. That's long and short of what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I could either do that or just use 250 ml of this, just one oil straight. But the reason again why we like to mix oil is so that nobody gets the exact scent of your product, right? So this is 200 ml, right? So I'm just going to do like a 15 ml of another scent that would work. Okay, so maybe I don't need this since I'm going to put it here. So this is another perfume oil, this is another perfume oil. So if I want to, I just add 50 ml of this, just so that Angela does not know what and what I mixed. Do you understand? So if somebody comes and then your air freshener is smelling nice and the person says, oh, I like this air freshener, and the person wants to go and make it, the person cannot, I cannot categorically say, the person cannot categorically say, if you're not Nigerian, this is also, anybody who is watching me, whether now or later on YouTube, we play as we walk. Okay, so I put it back in this just because I want to shake my polysorbate together before I mix. So I'm looking for 50 ml of this. Remember that I said catalyst. Catalyst is a binder. So there's polysorbate 80, there's polysorbate 60. But I'm not here to teach about chemicals. I'm just showing you how to make air freshener the way that I make it. So I put it in the same bottle. You don't have to use water bottle, but again, I'm producing this in my house, right? Just so that everybody would know that you don't have to wait until you have all the gadgets before you decide to go into production. Okay, whatever you're using to produce any of this, please do not use it as what you use to make food. Okay, so that's 250 ml and 50 ml. I'm making 1 liter of air freshener, so I'm just going to get So I'm just going to get 1 liter of water. So wipe up my space. Okay, remember the mixture that we had? It is not difficult. Remember, before I did this, I told you that the binder would mix the oil and water so that it doesn't separate. However, it's not going to be like a beautiful sight. So if I was in my production area, of course, you know you don't use metal to mix any of all of these things, right? So if I was in my production area, I would use a proper one. But this, we have condemned for the sake of YouTube. This is the regular turning gari that everybody has. So, like I said, you don't have any excuse. That I don't have a proper turning stick to turn these things is not an excuse. So, I just step. And this that you have, there's this company then that used to sell, right? I don't want to mention their name. They were very popular. They started, and I don't know if you people know that company, right? Any of those things that you buy, go and open it and see what is inside. You'll find something that looks like this. I can promise you. I don't know. Some people do it and it's clear, but that's another method. But this one, to mix it with polysorbate, this is what you're going to find. Some people might argue that that's not what it should be. I'm showing you what I did. I sold and I made money off of it. I used it in my house. Again, I don't want anything that is harmful. So this one says off. I have witnesses here, so I'm just going to spray around. Does this smell nice? That's the air freshener that we used to sell. Spray everywhere. So with this, what you can do, I don't know, again, go to area 10 UTC, you get people who know how to do stickers. If it's somebody's wedding, if it's a party that you're doing, if it's for your own brand, you could just do it as call your name, call the name of your brand, put it there, and when they give you your sticker, you stick it, or look for a bottle that is finer than this. When we're making air fresheners, I wasn't using, okay, no, that's for air freshener. Okay, so I have this from 100 years ago, the products that we're selling. So what is for body splash, but let me show you. For instance, if you have a sticker, of course you're going to do the sticker. These stickers are at least 5 years, no, at least 10 years old. I hope it sticks. It's not sticking, maybe because this sticker is from our producing days, but of course it's in the shape of the bottle that we used at the time, right? So you could get a sticker depending on the bottle that you're using. This also is our product, you see, H Honey. This was called Bold Man at the time. It's very masculine. I'll talk about that when I'm making body splash. But you could get a sticker. If it's a round bottle like this, you could get a sticker. This was printed in UTC. That's why I keep saying UTC. You could get a sticker, and do we have any new sticker? Even if that can go for a round bottle from the Spice. So you just go to UTC. Look for somebody that has sense, that can, do something that is fine, something that you can use and you're proud of. Okay, a question. Okay, God bless you personally for the training. How long does this last after being sprayed? It lasts as long as air fresheners last, because it depends on the quantity of the perfume oils that you're using, the quality of the perfume oil that you're using, and the quantity that you're using. For instance, with the same thing, I did 250 ml of perfume oil. Somebody who is very finicky about scents and wants for her scent to last long can use 1 liter of perfume oil to produce 2 liters of what's it called, of air freshener, right? So it depends on what you want to do. It depends on how, for me, for the sake of making sales and making profits when you're selling, I okay, when I'm doing my live next week, I'll be in the UK. So when you see that I'm alone and I'm not laughing, just know that my sisters are not close by doing some very strange things. For now, my sisters are here, and one just did something very strange. And no, it wasn't that she farted. It was not fart. It was something very strange. Angela, Ada, can you help me? I just want to remove the sticker, just to show you. Please don't use Spice sticker to do. This is sticker for our Spice, the Mamowa pepper soup Spice, right? I'm just trying to show you that when they make your sticker, if it's a round bottle, can I get one of Mamowa Spice, the container, just so that you understand. Some people you have a round cup or a round bottle, you do your sticker such that it is V-shaped or something. So now we produce pepper soup Spice. So this is Mamowa pepper soup Spice. That's how come I'm able to get this sticker, right? So this is for pepper soup Spice. So let nobody pause this video and then go and show their spice, their printer that they want something like this, and then the person is producing spice for air freshener. Okay, so you're just going to make sure that your hand is steady. This might not even come out right because it's not the size of the bottle too. Okay, so that's why there's an overlay. But when you produce, whatever, if you produce and you stick like this, even if it is somebody's wedding or somebody's, I bought a bottle from that, this is for body splash, but this was something that we did. I saw the child today. This was for her second birthday. I think she's about 9 now. That means this bottle is from over maybe 5 or 6 or 7 years, right? But that's why I wanted to show that if you want to use it for, okay, it's not even her picture. So we used, her name is Sophia. So we used and then it was what do they call her? If Sophia the First was very popular, so we did Princess Sophia is 2, right? And then we use, of course, we didn't want to use her picture. But if you're doing like air freshener for a wedding, right? You could tell your graphics person to use the picture of, you see how the Mamua's brand is here. You know, you could do the bride and groom and then write whatever write-up that you're doing. Okay? Is there a question? Does this need color? No, sis. There's no point putting color because it's already in. And like I said before I started, use an opaque container. Not because of anything. It's just because can I get the air freshener? Okay. Can I get the air freshener itself? So see what has happened here. I don't know if you can see it. That's why sometimes when you buy air freshener, you see in their write-up, they will say shake before use and all of that, right? Because sometimes you see that it looks like it's not like it's separating. It's not like the oil is separate and whatever, but you see that there's a concentration that settles underneath. So imagine if I want to put color, remember that we have plenty color. So I could decide to put, okay, so remember this color from the, remember this color, this was the plate I used to mix that color in water that we used for the soap, right? So if I like, I could put this here, right? It changes the color a bit, but it's not, if I like, I could put directly. But towards end, it's going to become yellowish, right? But because sometimes this doesn't sit still, you see a bit of separation. So nobody produces, I don't know. I've seen clear, there was one time when we were selling and I had this supermarket carrying our products, right? But when I went there, I also saw on the shelf, I saw some people who were producing air fresheners, and then it was in clear bottle, and it looks like body splash, right? So I did not understand how that was made. If it's going to be, you know, perfume oil and catalyst, I don't think that it will come out clear. But you can also go and, of course, do more research, do more things. But I'm just saying, these are the things that I did. It was easy to make, it was simple, and it sold. Do you understand? I had shops that were carrying. Of course, you need to have NAFDAC before a lot of shops would want to carry your product. But before NAFDAC came through, or SON and all of that, I had some shop owners, people that I knew, you know, that were carrying my products, I had shops in Wuse Market carrying my body splash, because of course that's the next thing we're going to do, and I'm going to tell you how old this is. I brought this, and I brought some of our products, and I also brought Victoria's Secret that I I got from America, I think, when I had Sikora. So that's like 5 years ago. And this is my product before I stopped production, like stopped production about 7 years ago, right? 2018, right? So these are products from, so that's Victoria's Secret from 5 years ago, and H Honey product from about 6 or 7 years ago. So that's the next thing we're going to be talking about. But see, when you're doing this, it's not like it separates, but there's some kinds of, I don't know, Jerry, but my own thing is I don't add color. But this yellow color is making the thing look like something milky and fine. So you could experiment with that. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. So that's that about air freshener. Okay, we've checked and it smells nice, right? Okay. So now we're going to be talking about one of the favorite thing that I love to produce, and that's body mist, as they will call it in some part of the world, or body splash, as we call it here in Nigeria. You know, is there any other name for this? Body splash, body mist, body spray, as some people will call it, right? So it's something that, you know, it's perfume. However, there are levels to perfumes. There's eau de toilette, there's eau de perfume, and then there's body mist, right? So the concentration of the perfume oil in all of these products is what differentiates them from each other. Eau de perfume being the highest concentration of perfume oils, and body mist being the lowest concentration of perfume. Okay, and then again, body mist has a moisturizer in it, just so that it's easy to be applied directly to the skin. So this is real Victoria's Secret, by the way, from a Victoria's Secret shop in Katy, Texas, Houston, Texas. So it's not the fake. Okay, and then this is also H Honey Body Splash. Of course, we are limited by the kinds of bottles that we have in Nigeria, where depending on how big you are, you could be somebody who blows up bottle like Victoria's Secret and then produce using the kinds of bottle that you blow up, right? We grew to an extent where we were blowing our bottles, but we were blowing our own bottles for our hand wash. We weren't blowing bottles for body splash. So our body splash was not very unique, right? Our hand, there's a question. So, okay. So that's Victoria's Secret. And then this is H Honey Bold Man. This is H Honey Neo. That was what we called it, because it's like this one. Spray is bad. It's not the perfume that is bad, it is the spray. So we can take this out and put a new spray, because this perfume has stayed in this house. Oh, the bottle is different. Oh, okay. So maybe I could just pour a little bit of. You see, it's still the same body splash that we produced over 7 years ago. Nothing has happened to it, right? I wish that you guys are here to perceive this smell. This is Victoria's Secret. This is H Honey. This is H Honey. It's not because she's my sister. It's not because I'm not even going to play. We're producing hits back to back. Like, I could walk into a Victoria's Secret shop, carry my product. I had people who were using my product in America. I had people using my product in different countries at the time when I was producing. So it is that same thing that I'm going to be teaching you right now. And I'm hoping that, you see it as a means of livelihood if you're somebody who loves to make perfume. Okay? So you could produce what you are selling, you could produce what you're using. Imagine that this has stayed over 7 years. I have my product, even there are other products that we make that I still produce for my home. Do you understand? So if you just do not want to be buying stuff from people, right, you could choose to produce so that you're using it for your own self, or you produce to sell, or you produce as, again, souvenir. That's why I said you could go to Facebook or Instagram and check out H Honey Perfumes. We have a lot of pictures of the people that we produced the souvenirs that they used for their weddings, birthdays, 50th birthdays, 20th birthday, and things like that. Okay, so you could choose to do that. Okay, I also brought another Victoria's Secret, just to show that it's the same thing. And then the way it pumps, it's not about the product that is in it. It's because of the quality of the pump that they have and the kind of pump that we can readily get in Nigeria. That's just when you see the way it pumps, it's the same, nothing. There's no difference, okay? The reason why I brought these scents that are very old is just to show you that it's not something that goes bad like immediately. So to produce, again, I'm going to be producing 1 liter of body splash. Okay, so but write down the what's it called, the quantity of the product that I'm using, so that it's easy for you to multiply. Please let nobody ask me what the quantity to produce 30 liters. So do the maths with this one that I'm showing you. Okay, so I'm going to be doing 1 liter of body splash. Or maybe I should tell you the quantity when it comes to the perfume oil. I don't know, I'm trying to figure out which one is going to be easier for. No, let's use the quantity for because this is also maths, right? So you increase your measurements to get more of the product. Okay, so I'm going to be doing this with 250 ml. For every 250 ml of perfume oil, you're going to be needing a liter of alcohol. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you want to produce, say for instance, you want to now produce 1 liter of oil, that means you're going to be needing 4 liters of alcohol. Alcohol being ethanol. That's what you use to produce perfumes. You do not use, there's methanol and then there's ethanol. So some people will go and then they just say, give me alcohol, and then the people who they are buying from will give them methanol. If you buy methanol, it is going to separate after some time. That's why I showed you air freshener that we produced over 7 years ago. In fact, this one still has dust on it because I just went and then removed it from a pack. But it is still as it was when we produced it. The color and everything remains the same, right? But if I had used methanol to produce this, it's going to separate in few days. It's not even going to wait 1 year to separate. This is over 7 years ago, because I know that I have not produced body splash apart from maybe for weddings or somebody's birthday, somebody close to me. You know, those are the production that I've made in the last, since Abuja Moms became too much, you know, for me to handle the perfume factory. We closed a shop on the perfume factory in 2018, and then this was from our last batch. So I'm just trying to get you to understand how long this has stayed, and it did not separate. If you use methanol, it will separate. And when somebody says alcohol to do perfume, the person is not talking about Star or Star Radler or beer or vodka or things like that. Some people say they use store-bought alcohol to do some other product that is like perfume. But for me, what we're teaching today is ethanol. Okay, how long have we stayed on this slide? Are you guys tired? Should we do this another time if I come to Nigeria? I think I should ask that question. If you guys are tired, let me know. So maybe we can do this another. If I come back, I'll come back in a few months' time. If I can see answers. Yes, can I see answers?
Yes, please, let's continue.
We are not tired. Okay. How many people? How many people are saying we should go ahead? Is there anybody saying we should rest? Okay. Okay, so we'll go ahead. Okay. So how long have we been on this line? Okay. Okay, so I'm using the measurement for the oil should be 250 mils. That's 250 milliliter. Is that what it's called? Milliliter. Right? So 250 ml of oil is what you need to produce 1 liter of 1 liter of ethanol, right? To produce with 1 liter of ethanol. And then again, you're going to need, for that, you're going to need half of whatever quantity of oil is what you're going to need in pea glycol. Pea glycol is what we're using today as our moisturizer. Remember that I said that the reason why it is called body mist is that you can apply it directly to your skin, right? And what tones down that alcohol so that your body is not very dry, because it's alcohol after all, so it's going to, I don't know what entered my eye. Excuse me, guys. Right? So you're going to need whatever measurement of your perfume oil. I just want to simplify it for you so that when you're doing the maths, it's not difficult, right? You're needing to make body splash, right? You need ethanol, pea glycol or glycerin, whichever one you find. I like to use pea glycol because it's easier, because some people will go and buy edible glycerin. You know that there's edible glycerin. I bake, so I know that there's edible glycerin. So when you tell people glycerin and they go to a baker's shop and they see edible glycerin, they will just buy edible glycerin and want to use it to produce body splash, right? That's why I choose to tell my students that, sorry guys, I need to, 1 minute. guys. I don't know, my eye and my nose at the same time. So that was why I asked so if we should stop this class and then I'll do it another time when I'm in Nigeria. But we fire down, okay? So I was saying that the ingredients that is it ingredients that I was saying? No. Next Sunday is going to be different. I'm just going to be in that room alone. I'm missing you guys. I'm missing how you people are making me laugh and not be very serious about this. But this is how life should be. Honestly, having people around is everything. You understand? Your friends, your loved ones, you know. Of course, I'm in the UK with my children, my husband, my mom. Very grateful to God, you know. Then again, anytime I'm in Nigeria, you know, with my sisters right here, I have Angie Boogie, I have Ada, I have Jane, I have Precious, and I have Chidera. Do you understand? These are people behind the scene trying to make sure that, you know, the light is set, they are seeing the questions, they are showing me, you know, so I'm grateful to God. Do you understand? Maybe next week I'm going to be talking about friendship and how it affects us, how the crowd that you keep can be what makes you great or what makes you a non-entity. I think we'll talk about that next Sunday. So feel free to tune in. I'm sure some people will be wondering, they are in your house at this time. Yes, it's a guest hostel. This weekend, we're just vibing, enjoying ourselves with the permissions of all our husbands. They know where we are. We are in our own house because my home, mi casa su casa. Is that how it's said? Yes. Okay, back to body splash making. So the ingredient, I don't know whether it's ingredients now, that is the right word, but the measurement of the, yeah, I know it's measurements, but the things that you need, let me just use the things that you need so that nobody is quoting me that ingredient is for food or something. So you're going to need ethanol, which is the alcohol that I mentioned earlier. You're going to need, of course, the perfume oil. You're going to need glycerin or pea glycol, which is the moisturizer, and then you're going to need water, just a little quantity of water, right? Please, can I get that mesh that you use to filter the sieve? Yes. Okay, so to also make that simple for you, right? For every 250 ml of perfume oil, you're going to need, can they hear me? Okay. For every 250 ml of perfume oil, you're going to need 1 liter of ethanol. And then again, you're going to need half of the quantity of your perfume oil in pea glycol. Do you understand what I'm saying? Then you're going to need half of the pea glycol in water. I don't know if it makes sense. So let me just make it like this. So I'm using you're going to need 4 times the quantity of the perfume oil that you're using in alcohol, right? Then you're going to need half of the quantity of the perfume, half of the quantity of the perfume oil that you're using. You're going to need that in pea glycol. Then half of the quantity of pea glycol that you use, you're going to need that in water. Okay, so let's run it like this now. So now with what I'm going to do, I'm going to use 250 ml of perfume oil, meaning that I'm going to use 1 liter of ethanol. Then I'm going to need 125 ml of pea glycol. Then I'm going to need um, the half the half of 125 ml in water. I don't know if that makes sense. Is this something you understand? Do you understand this maths? I'll take it again. Mm. I just need a little part though. I'll just use to filter. Okay. Okay, so I'll take that again. For instance, if I want to use okay, let me use 1 liter of perfume oil, so it's simple, right? So for 1 liter of perfume oil, I'm going to need 4 liters of alcohol. Remember that I said 4 times the quantity of perfume oil that you're using is what you are going to need in alcohol. So if I'm going to be doing 1 liter of perfume oil, I'm going to be needing 4 liters of alcohol. That's not what we're doing tonight because I don't want to I'm not producing so much, right? So that's why I said for 250 ml of oil, I'm going to be needing 1 liter of alcohol. Is that okay? I wish that, are they understanding this maths? And for 1 liter of perfume oil, I need 4 liters of alcohol. Then for that quantity, I'm going to need 500 ml of pea glycol because it is half the quantity of perfume oil that I need in pea glycol, right? So if I'm using 1 liter of perfume oil, I'm going to be needing 500 ml of pea glycol. Then I'm going to be needing 250 ml of water. So that's why I said for you to get it right, just know that for the quantity of perfume oil that you need 4 times that quantity in alcohol, and then you need half of that quantity of perfume oil in pea glycol. Then you need half of the quantity of the pea glycol in water. Okay, so it's time to produce. Then again, like I said, you're just going to always make sure that the oil that you're using, the reason why we mix oil is so that your perfume, your body splash is unique to you. Nobody knows what we mix to get bold man, right? Or bold man, again, it is important for you to create scents and call it something that speaks to you. I'm sure that you guys remember that this that I have here that I said is for our 70 ml bottle, right? This was just vanilla. Everybody knows vanilla scent. But in this bag, I see fruity. One of our creation then was called fruity, and of course it says what it is. Fruity scent. I mixed a lot of good fruity notes to be able to achieve fruity. Do you understand? And then again we have I think I saw Throne here. Okay, this is Neo. We used to have Neo, Throne, Vanilla, Bold Man, and Sensual. We have Sensual, we have Desire, right? I don't know. I'm not seeing them here. I'm just seeing Vanilla, Neo, and Fruity. So all of these were things that we brought from the store when we closed the factory. Sorry, I was trying to get, I can't find it, but I just wanted to talk about people who want to go into full-time production. Everything is everything, you understand? So the name that you call your brand, the way that when you produce, what you call it. For Bold Man, people buy Bold Man majorly for their husbands, right? Men buy it for themselves. Bold Man and Throne were strong notes, were strong scents that were very masculine. You know, if you were here and you perceive this, smells fresh. The scent that I used for Bold Man is something, of course, I cannot tell you the scent that I mixed to get Bold Man, but I wanted something that is very masculine and something that is strong, that when the man comes in, you're feeling good. You know that this is a man, you understand, that smells good. Then again, thrown too, we tried to create something that was regal, something that when you see the person, when you perceive the person's scent, you know, you know that this is a guy that knows, that values himself. Okay, and I called it Throne because I assumed I was producing for kings. You understand what I'm saying? And then we had a note that we called Sensual. Sensual was really sensual. My friend here used to use Sensual, right? And I made it with scents that, you know, were seductive, so to speak, right? Something, because so something that even me, I wear Sensual to bed. After taking my evening bath, it was Sensual that was the scent that I used. That's why I don't have it anymore. I only have Bold Man and Neo, right? We also had Desire. I created Desire with notes that were something that will make a woman be desirous, so desirable. Or do you understand? It was something that was sweet. It was something that, you know, everybody wants to be around you. I used to wear Desire during the day and I wear Sensual for just my husband at night. Do you understand? So, and then I named them according to what I felt when I was producing. So if this is what you want to do, please don't go producing a scent that is for women and then you call it, of course, don't call Bold Man. I will not say you understand what I'm saying? So you don't go producing a scent that you now call it, I don't know the word, I don't know why Peter Aqua came to my head. Oh my God, God have mercy, right? But don't produce a scent and then you give it a name that makes the thing very ugly. That's the point I'm trying to make. Do you understand? If you have a brand, please always know that from the name, from your branding, from the way, you know, if you see the line here, my sister was the last person that our perfumes will go through before it hits the market. And if any of the staff member, I don't know whether you can see this, right? If my sister says that this tip is higher than this tip, you will go again. Do you understand? And if you destroy materials, you know, if you destroy too much material, we take it out of your salary for that month. Do you understand? But everything is everything. You don't go producing and then you make mediocrity is one of the things that make people not succeed as much. Do you understand? I'm just saying, because what I said today was that on this live, I'm going to be sharing everything that I did in my business that made it successful. The only reason why I stopped production was because I followed the Abuja Moms brand and we wanted to venture into real estate and all of that, but it was something that gave us food for years. You understand? So if this is what you want to do, please, there's no mediocrity. That was okay. That was what I was talking about. The shape of the bottle that we had for our 70 ml had this. You don't go looking for maybe like a round bottle and then you just cut the shape like this and then you put it in a way that, you know, is not nice. Victoria's Secret is everything when it comes to body splash business. But you see their brand, they would make sure that everything is aligned. They will make sure, you can imagine, if I was still producing scents, I'm sure that by now I would have gone 10 times what I was when we were doing H-Honey. That's the truth. You see how she would crest, even her cover, everything. because there are lots of people who bring in the fake. Do you understand? And they are checking from time to time. They're trying to see what they can do to differentiate their brand from the ones that are copies. You understand what I'm saying? So when you're producing, please bear in mind that everything is everything. Your name, the brand. You cannot, during our trade fair very recently, I saw somebody, the name of her business, she was selling clothes, but the name of her business had something about food. I don't know whether you guys remember. So it didn't make sense. But of course, we're the people who were facilitating the fair, so I didn't want to spoil her mind or make her feel down. But what is the business of clothes and food? You were selling what you were selling. You were in the fashion industry. Why, if you opened a business name and it's for instance, we have a business called H Honey Bakes and Chops. It was different from H Honey Perfumes. Reason being that I cannot say H Honey Bakes and Chops producing Boldman, producing liquid wash. Do you understand? So that's just by the way. I just wanted to share that so that when you're creating, please don't say you learned from Sister Happy and then you're doing something that doesn't look like somebody who learned from me. That's just the point I'm trying to make, okay? So if you remember, I won't talk about the quantity or the measurement anymore. I'm just going to go ahead to show you what you need to do to mix. And you must follow this pattern, because if you do it the other way around, there are, okay, what's to go off? You can't even try this. So I need to rush because the volume, the mic is on there. So I'm going to just rush this. So 250 ml of oil is what I'm looking for. Please quickly. So this is not granite oil. This is 4%. My phone is going to go off. I'm looking for 250 ml. 250 ml of. Did you get to 4%? This could be 50. So go off. Remember I said 1 liter of, so where my hand? 1 liter of ethanol. Yeah. So this is 1 liter of ethanol. For 250 ml, I'm going to be needing 125 ml